Hi, I'm Effie, and if you watch any of my content around June or July, you'll know that I was hoping to attend the Hugo Awards this year that were being held in Glasgow. I am happy to announce I did manage to make it there, but it is just one event as part of a large convention called Worldcon, which is hosted in a different city every year, and it just so happened to be, relatively speaking, local to me this year. So this is my vlog of attending my very first Worldcon. So this is my setup for the evening. I would give you a room tour, but my stuff's all over the place. So we've got my Kindle, which I'm going to bring up the convention guide so that I can refer to things. See, we have go to the front page. So we've got a convention guide on my Kindle, and then I just thought I'd show you my badge that I picked up earlier. And we've got a spreadsheet I made of everything that interests me. So I'm gonna try and narrow down from there. We've got a notebook and we've got a graphic tablet because I've got an idea for a bookmark that I want to work on. So yeah, that's my setup. Hopefully I can get some more stuff done tonight, but even if I can get my provisional plan for the schedule sorted, that's a step in the right direction. Also, sorry for whispering, I'm just not sure about appropriate noise levels in my Airbnb for the night. I'll fill you in more tomorrow, I think. So it's a fairly basic room, to be honest. There was storage space for clothing, and there was a desk in front of a beautiful window, which I enjoyed working at. We had this teeny tiny little kitchen, which I didn't really make use of, but it was handy to have. You can see it's just absolutely tiny there. And then we had a fridge freezer. There's my case, a bed. Apparently I can't make my own bed. And what am I walking towards? Am I walking towards the bathroom here? I think I'm walking towards the bathroom. I mean, we know what a bathroom looks like, but anyway, this is what the bathroom of the Airbnb looked like. And yeah. Oh, hi, I'm waving to you there. And waving again, apparently. And then I'm just showing you how ridiculously high the ceilings are. So it's day one of the con. So far I haven't participated in much in the way of programme items. I spent a couple of hours volunteering earlier, and now I am heading to a workshop, and I think I'm going to volunteer a bit more later. But the Scottish weather has finally turned up, which is nice because it makes it a bit more refreshing, honestly. But so far I'm having a good time, and it's only 3:30 on day one, so we've got a lot more con to go. So since I did a room tour of my Airbnb, I thought I'd do a quick room tour of my hotel room at the Radisson. So this is the bathroom. Not much you can say about it. It's nice and spacious, and it has toiletries provided, which I feel like is a rarity. I'm just showing you this silly little coat hook thing. It's all funkily shaped. And yeah, this room's quite spacious. I really appreciate that we've got all this space to play with. And we've got a big long table right in front of the windows. And then we have this wardrobe that's got an espresso machine, a kettle, a little room safe, and obviously coat hangers. And I'm showing you kind of out the window. Not much of a view, but like it's also not bad. You can see the Clyde. I feel like it's maybe nice, like a nice view on a sunny day. So I was going to come on here and be like, that's day one done, but it's not. I have got a table talk, which is something that I was unfamiliar with until like this past week, and it's basically like a really intimate conversation type thing with various people. Like you sign up because like it's like 7 people plus the person running it can participate, so it's kind of a random lottery and stuff. So I've got one of those later tonight. I don't know what to think. No, I don't mean that. Like I don't know what to expect because it's my first time like participating in a table talk because I hadn't heard of them before and this is the first day. But yeah, that's a wee bit later. So until then, I think I'm just going to decompress a bit. And we have food. Like, so much food. I didn't realise it was going to be so much food. But yay! And I mean, what to say? I didn't actually do much today. Like I had that workshop and then I was like volunteering outside of that. And, you know, that's fine. A nice, chill, easy first kind of day. I am waiting to hear back about the workshops and table talks for tomorrow before I decide what my plan for the day is going to look like. But also, I think probably what I'm going to do is for every slot that I need to wait until the... Have I even explained how it works? So basically, for things that are really, really highly limited spaces, you sign up and sign-ups close at 5 p.m. the day before the event happens, and then in theory you should get an email around 7:30 telling you if you've got a space or not. That isn't how it worked yesterday, and it doesn't appear to be how it's worked today because I signed up for a variety of things and I only heard back from 2 of them so far, but it's fine. So yeah, I think what I'll do when I like go through and figure out what I actually want to do is I'm going to, like, for each slot of time, I think I'm going to pick like my top priority thing and then my number 2 priority thing and just kind of go from there and hope I can get more volunteering in. I feel kind of bad because I was looking and like I meant to like come in.
Oh no!
Oops, ran out of space there. So as I was saying, yeah, so I was meant to help volunteer in the morning. And I think they said like between 9 and 9:30. But I just looked at the calendar and I think Shauna Maguire is signing between 10 and 11. And I think the chances of me, like if I don't get in that queue at like 10 o'clock, I think I'm not going to manage to get something signed. And I think I've been very disappointed. Like I have one specific book I brought with me because I was going to be, like I didn't want to be, not ridiculous, but like I didn't want to take the mick. So I've brought a single book. And yeah, I just like want to get it signed, obviously. So I think what I'm going to do is like in the morning, just be like, I can help for like this amount of time. But like at 10 o'clock or just before 10, I want to like pop through and get in the autographing queue and then like I'll come back straight away. That's my plan anyway. I mean, we'll see how it all shakes out because very possibly I may end up not able to get it signed. And, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. So, yeah, I am going to eat. My food smells amazing. And, yeah, I'm going to chill for a bit. There's a couple of bits and bobs I want to do before bed. But generally, I'm just going to... Oh, yeah, I've got the table talk as well. But, yeah, generally, I'm just going to relax until tomorrow, I guess. So I had food. I ordered from Bread Meets Bread. They sounded like they had some good options, and like the food was fine, but it, you know, based off the descriptions, I thought it was going to be like significantly better, and unfortunately just didn't quite hit as hard as I'd hoped. I have just done my first table talk, and it was with Navo Wolf, who is an editor with, I think it's DAW. I don't know if they're pronounced as door or if like they're pronounced as the individual letters. And it was really interesting and fun, very, very chilled out, because it was an online session, and it was, you know, kind of like having a Zoom meeting, but on a different platform. So that was really good. I realised after I recorded my last update that I hadn't actually mentioned about the free library. So there's a free library on site where you can just go and help yourself. And I had a good snoop around. I think a lot of it is authors who are attending Worldcon, more indie authors than like, you know, authors with like big publishers kind of thing will leave their books and stuff. So I ended up picking up this book. Like the cover really drew me in, and Anna Tan's, well, another Anna Tan book was there as well, and it also had a really stunning cover. I'm not sure if I've got much space on the screen to actually flick the cover on screen. In fact, let me pop this down a sec. So, you know, future me when I'm editing this video will pop the cover on screen, and you can see it's also really stunning. So let me just read out the blurb to you. It says, "If curse is the hand that kills, then it wouldn't matter if that same hand stole, would it? Tulin feels doubly cursed, forced to serve the bratty princess of Impian as punishment for her crimes. When said princess embarks on a pilgrimage, Tulin grabs her only chance to offer a sacrifice at the holy city of Suki, and maybe finally feel clean again. Sultan Mikhail has set his face towards Suki and certain death. Nothing about his penance is clear, except the fact that if he fails, Turang will fall along with him. When Tulin's pilgrimage intersects with Sultan Mikhail's quest to fulfill the Covenant of Salt, Tulin faces a difficult dilemma. What is her absolution worth in the face of the Sultanate's very existence?" And yeah, it sounds really good. And I also like randomly picked up a bookmark that looked like this, like mostly because I wanted to like remember and like put it on my radar kind of thing, because it sounds really good. It's called The Cruel Gods, and it says, "Cruel gods rule the steam-powered city of Chime and demand worship from their mortal subjects, but when soul-sucking creatures prey on Chime's citizens, it will take godless heathens to save them before the gods take matters into their own hands." So yeah, it sounds really, really good. And it's by Trudy Skies. So I think that's like my update for the moment. I need to make my overnight oats for tomorrow. And what else do I need to do? Like, I've got a couple of like random odd jobs, but mostly I think my focus is going to be trying to figure out what I actually want to go to over the next few days, and like what's the priority things I want to do. I haven't heard back about every table talk and workshop that I signed up for tomorrow, so I'm still waiting on that a little bit. But yeah, I think I can like put together a bit of a schedule for myself and sort of figure out, you know, what I definitely want to make, especially if I'm feeling like low on spoons at any point and just need to, you know, set something out or whatever. I don't know. I'm just chatting at this point. But yeah, I'll probably be back. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow morning, my next update, but I'll be back later. It's day 2, the start of day 2. And I don't think I have much to say. can't see it on camera, I don't think, but I've covered myself in glitter to very, very, very low-key cosplay as a Twilight kind of vampire. You don't mind me filming, do you?
No, you're alright.
Okay. This book means so much to me.
For Effie?
Yes.
Alright, you were very gold and glittery today.
Twilight vampire.
Ah, brilliant. But what did you use for that?
Just shimmer powder.
Alright. Very effective shimmer powder. It looks fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I won't let us go down this way. So let's raise the frequency. What would it take to reach higher? I know it's in our fate. There's no more time to waste. I want us all to reach higher, higher, higher.
Been a long day that isn't even fully over because there's still program items to go, but the ones I want to go to are digital, which means that I can go back to my hotel room and just watch them from the comfort of my room and just decompress for a bit. So I actually managed to make a couple of panels today. I also got one of my Sean and Maguire books signed, which was really exciting to me. What else did I do today? Oh, I did a little workshop to make a beaded leaf. It's been a really good day and I've had a really good time. And I feel like I found a balance. I don't know, I feel like my mind is just completely devoid of thoughts right now. So I think shower, food, decompress. And I guess we'll see if I watch the panels tonight or not. A lot of them are available to replay until the end of the year, so that means that even if I'm not able to watch them tonight, I will be able to watch them at some point. But I guess we'll just see how I'm feeling and stuff, because it is like gone 9:30 and I was at the venue at 9 a.m. this morning and I've been at the venue since 9 a.m. So it has been a long day. Also, excuse the angle, but I just wanted to show that even after the full day, I'm still shiny in places. Hi, I bumped into Seth Haddon and I got my book signed. Do you want to say anything or just...
Read Reclaimed.
And your next one?
Yeah, and Volatile Memory.
Coming out next year from tour. But are you having a good con?
Absolutely. I mean, I traveled 23 hours for it, and it's been a great first Worldcon.
Amazing. Oh, bye. So I'm back in my hotel. Ooh, the ginger's coming out really pretty, actually. Yeah, I'm back in my hotel now because it's the Hugo's tomorrow and I want to have enough energy to enjoy it. I basically decided that today was going to be a short, low energy, low intensity day. And I got into bed and realised I hadn't done a little haul for yesterday. I've been trying not to get too much stuff whilst I'm here, but like a little bit. It's more trying not to spend a load of money. So in terms of things I got yesterday, we have this book, which I can't read backwards. It says A Crow Named Torment by Silas A. Biscoff. Is that Biscoff? Bischoff. And yeah, I thought it looked really, really interesting. I'll hold the back up. A little bit of the blurb's obscured, but it sounds really interesting. And then what I'll do is I will pop a little bit of footage over the top of me speaking here to show you the internal artwork because I thought that was also really pretty as well. And then I chatted to the amazingly lovely folks at Angry Robot. They are very fast becoming one of my favourite publishers. I think it's like Tiny Ghost, Angry Robot, and Sourcebooks, I think are kind of like my favourite go-to publishers. And they were like, we've got some cheeky arcs under the desk. And they gave me an arc of Shoestring Theory, which like is so pretty. And I believe it's a cozy fantasy. And like, look at the back. And it says, Shoestring Theory is a charmingly irreverent fantasy that weaves magic and romance into an endearing adventure featuring a formidable great aunt, a friends to lovers to enemies to lovers romance, an awkward love quadrangle, and a crow familiar called Ganache. This gorgeous story is eminently easy to read and sure to satisfy fans of fan fiction who like their fantasy light. Like I'm not usually a cozy fantasy reader, but this sounds absolutely incredible, and maybe this will be me going, yes, this is true cozy fantasy, and I adore it. Then we've got The Ravening by Daniel. Oh, no. So the rest of these are from today. So there was just the 2 from yesterday. So today, yeah, Angry Robot gave me another arc. I'm very, very lucky. They are genuinely like the sweetest, nicest people. So I got an arc for The Ravening, and it says, Jenna's life has been a fight, from losing her mum on a dark wooded road when she was a teenager to escaping a toxic and abusive relationship with her last boyfriend. She has learned that trust hurts you in the end. But she has now found happiness in her new girlfriend Holly. But there's still evil in the world, and some of it 1,000 years old. And Jenna soon finds that evil and those driven by it are not ready to let go. Like, yes, please. So the next couple of things I've got on my pile are literally like things that I got signed. So like Seth Haddon was nice enough to meet up with me today and signed my copy of Reforge. And he was like, you've probably got the only copy of Reforge at the con, because there's been like distribution issues. But I was like, And he was also incredibly sweet. I mean, duh, that was the last clip. I'm such a dum-dum. I wasn't able to go to Juno Dawson's panel, but I managed to ask a friend that I made at the con, because he was talking about Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and I was like, I don't suppose you're going to any of the Juno Dawson events. So he took along my book and got it signed for me, which was incredibly lovely of him. And then the only other books that I picked up today were, I went to Daphne Press. So when you volunteer, you get something, or at least at this one, you get something called groats, and groats equate to like equivalent money, and you can spend them at some places. So Daphne Press are accepting groats. So I decided to get this trilogy. I've read the first book, absolutely adored it. So I thought, yes, let's get physical editions of this trilogy. Let's do it. And that's that. So I think my plan for today is like truly just to chill, relax, see where the day takes me. I've just realised I don't know when I'm going to eat tomorrow. That's tomorrow's issue. Oh, yeah, did I say I got a priority wristband for the Hugos? I did. So another thing with the volunteering is you do a certain number of hours and you can pick a single priority reward. And, you know, I've been enjoying this con as a whole. It's been an incredible experience. You know, there's been a few bits that I've been like having, like, not related to Garth Nix, but like practically having a panic attack in front of Garth Nix. Embarrassing. I could have died on the spot, and I did start crying. Like, after I got out of that situation, I just had a little cry to myself because I felt so horribly embarrassed and uncomfortable about, like, you know, my anxiety showing me up like that. So yeah, it's been an amazing experience. But like the reason that I originally like planned to come to Worldcon, and it's so much more than the Hugos. The Hugos are one relatively small part of a massive conference that is just like it's such a good time. So yeah, I basically was like, I definitely want to go to the Hugos. I want to be in the main venue where the Hugos are actually happening, because there's an overflow venue showing it, and then I think there's some other satellite venues as well. And I was like, I want to be in it, but I have limited capability to stand, and I don't do well with crowds. Like if I'm in like a seated place and I've got an aisle seat, I can do that because I don't feel trapped. I mean, you don't need to know all of this, but yeah, basically, I wanted a way that was going to be accessible to me. So I basically was like, right, my one priority reward is I want like priority access to the Hugos. And basically how that's worked is there's a couple of like reserved rows for volunteers. So if you've got this particular wristband, you will be guaranteed a seat in those rows, which yay, I like it. Just it makes me so happy. And yeah, but I can't believe it's tomorrow. I can't believe that this weekend is almost over. It has gone so quickly, but it's been so rewarding. And like I don't know, I don't think I would travel overseas to this, but I definitely would be willing to do UK ones again. And I think there's talk of in 2029 it being in Dublin. So much like the Hugos, it's kind of a popular vote, but there's a lot of politicking to it, in that it costs a lot of money to put a bid in, and like multiple places do put bids in for every year. And like you vote for 2 years in advance, so we know next year is going to be in Seattle. So the vote would be for the year after that. But also there's a lot of like, you vote for us, we'll vote for you, that goes on apparently. And basically it's almost like a foregone conclusion that like even though the cities still have to be voted for and it could theoretically be somewhere else, it's pretty much decided that the one in 2029 is going to be in Dublin. I'm not sure if we're going to have one in London sooner, but that seems to be the plan. So, maybe in 5 years I'll go to the one in Dublin. I guess we'll see. We'll see where I'm at in 5 years. Oh, the other thing that happened today was that business meetings happen, the business of the World Science Fiction Society. So there's business meetings that basically happen over the whole course of the conference. I don't know if it's always in a separate venue, but this time around it's a separate venue, like still kind of within the campus, but a bit away from everything. And they basically have come up with a plan to make sure that what happened last year with the Hugo Awards does not happen again, and have issued like an official apology to those impacted. So that's promising, I guess. I don't know, like it's good to see, and it's good to see that clear heads have prevailed, but it also, like, the vibe I'm getting from talking to people is that it is very much a case of like bad apples have done this thing, and people are actually like really shocker. Like I have a little bit of like tea, but obviously I'm not going to put that out there. But it has been really interesting to sort of see, what's the phrase? See how the... No, I can't think of the word. It's like how something food items made, but like I kind of feel like I've gotten a bit of like seeing behind the curtain, and that's been really interesting. And I've spoken for over 10 minutes, so I am just going to stop here and I will probably check back in later. Who knows? I'm very chaotic today. I mean, that clip with Seth Haddon, like, it was terrible angles, but we were laughing about it because, like, Seth's not the tallest of people, but I am only 5'2", so he's still significantly taller than me. And yeah, he thought it was hilarious. He is genuinely, like, such a nice guy. I haven't really met anyone that hasn't been nice here. It's such a lovely environment because even though there's such a diverse selection of interests and whatnot, it is one of those environments where it feels like there's a commonality, and it just so happens that the commonality is not a specific thing beyond Worldcon as a whole is our commonality.
Literally, like we heard in the example, brain drain. So think about how it might actually work. When does this happen? Who does it happen to? Think about the story brain drain, right? This happens to immigrants, right? But there's the smells and the odor, the feeling of it, the slipperiness. So take one of these expressions and just spend 5 minutes. Don't worry about plot yet. Just start thinking about what it would really look like, smell like, sound like, what would be some difficulties around it.
Well, that was an absolute unexpected delight. So I asked Sarah Reese Brennan, that is, to sign my copy of Long Live Evil after her panel. And like a group of us ended up chatting with her just in the like hallway for half an hour after. It was so fun. I had such a good time. And this panel's just been an absolute... This day has actually been such a dream.
And snake-like tentacles writhe as they leave them pulsate.
In the cabin, a hologram appeared, replaying an ancient memory. It was Sia himself, in his youthful days at the Space Academy. Blindfolded and naked, prostrate on his hands and knees. He was being vigorously spit-roasted, his body absorbing a prodigious succession of loads. I'm nothing but a hole, cried the boy in the recording. Oh, fuck.
Very good on this, but I thought whilst I have a spare moment, I would do an update. So at present, I am waiting the queue to go in to watch the Hugo Awards, and then so today I met Seal Perla, the author of The Hunter's Gambit, and we had a little chat, and I got my arc of The Hunter's Gambit signed. And what else have I done today? It's been like actually attending the conference rather than like massively volunteering. Like I did one panel where I was volunteering at the same time, and that was on children's literature. I thought it was going to be more about the lasting impact children's literature had on fantasy as a whole, but it was more just about children's literature in general. And then what did I do? I went to the book launch for I Want That Twink Obliterated by Bonner Books, and that was such good fun. They had a drag queen in called Lacey Rain, and then had two more panels. Busy day, clearly. So we had Bad Girls in SFF, so it's all about villainous feminine characters, and then Death Wears Thy Sting, which is just about like depictions of death in media and touching on things like the resurrection trope, necromancers. Both of those panels were really good, although the seating I got for the first one, the Bad Girls in SFF, was a little bit less than ideal, unfortunately, but it's fine. And now I'm really excited to watch the Hugos like live from where they're taking place. I feel like that's what this has all been working towards.
winner of this year's Astounding Award for Best New Writer is Shiran J. Gao. Am I allowed to take a picture from here? Yeah, hold on. Let's do it. Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is literally the POV of when you win not a Hugo Award voted on exclusively by Hugo voters. Hello. Yes.
Finally, I want to give one personal opinion, which is that Neil Gaiman can fuck off into the sun. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not 100% sure that I actually won this award. Thank you so much. I would first like to thank all of my fellow awkward people in the audience for whom seeing your face displayed 4 times in a row during technical difficulties would have been an absolute personal nightmare. But I am so grateful. I hope the envelope was accurate. If it's not, please ignore everything I say from now on. I also need 1 second to pull up the password on my phone. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. This is an incredible honor. Thank you first to my fellow brilliant editors. It is humbling to be in your company. 2 of them I was just sitting right next to, Kelly and Lindsay. I love you so much. To my friends and family, to every group chat who gives me shit when I deserve it and lifts me up when I need it, especially my partner Drake. I'm so sorry our 5th anniversary was me texting you stupid pictures from the Glasgow necropolis. To Glasgow, the Worldcon organizers, and the entire fan community who are gathered here and elsewhere, this has been a truly special weekend. Someone told me this felt like a return to form. The first Worldcon I went to was Chicago, which was the first one in person after a long break, and it has been amazing to be able to connect in person, face-to-face this weekend. Thank you to every single one of the authors I have been so lucky to work with. Some of you are in the audience tonight, and I've met you in person somehow for the first time after years and years working together. And especially to Emily Tesh, to Nevo, to Freya Marsk, and to Chelsea Polk, whose works are all up for this award tonight. I am rooting hard for you. You are brilliant beyond imagination, and you take me to the stars. To my brilliant students I got to teach at Clarion West this year, you restored my faith in the joy of writing, and I think many of you will be on this stage one day. And finally, to the editorial assistants, the assistant editors, the interns, people hoping to get into publishing, who sometimes will ask me for advice, and asking yourselves, hey, is this all worth it, this work that we do? I just want to say, it can be. Stay in it. It is so true that the work can be really fucking hard. And many days you will just want to lie face down on your couch and not rise again. But for every professional punch to the face that you get, there is somebody who is kind, there is somebody who knows your work, there is a book, there is an author, there is someone whose writing you get to work on, who makes you reevaluate everything that you doubted, and you get to be part of something that will last longer than you are on this earth. And that is so special. So thank you to all of you. I hope the envelope was not a mistake.
And the winner for the Best Dramatic Presentation Short Form Hugo Award is The Last of Us Long, Long Time, written by Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann.
For some strange reason, unfortunately, they were unable to send someone this evening. Pedro couldn't be here, so they sent the next best thing, which is myself. We will accept this on behalf of the committee. Thank you so much.
Those of you who have heard my acceptance speeches before are going, oh God, what is it going to be this time? You'll find out. Thank you all so much. I am extremely touched and honored to win this. As some of you may know, I had a bout of rather aggressive breast cancer last year, and I'm fine now. It's fine. We're all good. Happy ending. Thank you, but my surgeon and my organs did all the work. I was just along for the ride. I wanted to talk to you today about, since Thornhedge is a book about a small person doing a very important but overlooked job, I wanted to talk about a small creature that does an important and overlooked job. And I am speaking, of course, of the noble sea cucumber. And things would like to live inside of it, including several species of fish. They burrow their way in exactly where you're thinking they do, and they just kind of hang out in there. And there are, in fact, some species of pearlfish that can only reproduce if they meet inside a sea cucumber's cloaca. Some species of sea cucumber have evolved a defense against these fish, which is called by scientists anal teeth. I tell you all of this not merely to share the glories of nature, but because if I have to live the rest of my life with the image of sea cucumber butt teeth in my head, so do all the rest of you.
I always wanted to learn about sea cucumbers. Finally,
Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tash.
And I did talk to someone, I think earlier today, I said, what on earth do I do if I win? What do I say? And we concluded that you could just quote the birthday speech from Lord of the Rings and say, well, I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half. And then you could run away pretending to be invisible. And I promise you that if I am ever lucky enough to find myself in this position again, that is what I shall do. But you only win a Hugo Award for the first time once, so I probably ought to take it seriously. Here is my hope for this book. I hope this book disappears. I hope it joins the honorable, very honorable ranks of past Hugo winners, which spoke to a particular community at a particular time and not to all of history. And I hope for that disappearance because no one sets out to write a science fiction dystopia wanting to be proved right. I wrote humanity's bad end, and I call upon you all with perfect faith to prove me wrong. Thank you.
Well, that was incredible. I've just gotten out of watching the 2024 Hugo Awards, and they worked it in reverse order to where things appeared on the ballot. So the first award of the night was Astounding Award for Best New Author. I think that's what it's called. And it felt so special to physically be in the room. And I was in the stalls, so it's not that far away from the front. Yeah, to physically be in the room when Shirin J. Zhao won an award. And I think they were genuinely so sort of flawed. They laughed it off, being you voted because you felt sorry for me. But Shirin's work is amazing and it's a well-deserved award. And then there was a lot of amazing, notable wins for the night. But I think it was really nice to start there and then to end on Emily Tash and the very powerful thing that she said, where she's like, I hope my book disappears. And basically what she was saying was that she hopes that this dystopic, horrible, the book's amazing, but the world's horrible, if you know what I mean. She hopes this dystopian, horrible book fades into obscurity because it's no longer relevant and you know, so that was good. I think definite highlight for the night was T Kingfisher winning for Thornhedge and then proceeding to give quite a long talk just about sea cucumbers, and that was her acceptance speech. So yeah, lots of amazing, memorable moments, and one more day, but it's like half a day because I'm doing newsletter tomorrow afternoon. Like, I'm not too bothered anyway. So I've got 3 panels to go to, the newsletter, and then that'll be my Worldcon over. But I've had such a good time, and I'm so glad I came. You know, I'm not going to lie and say it hasn't been challenging physically and mentally, but it's one of those things where I wouldn't have known what I was missing out on if I, hadn't come, obviously. But I think there always would have been a question mark and a what if. And Sharon J. Zhao never going to have the opportunity to win Best Astounding Author again. That's never going to happen again. So, it was a good night. I feel like I've done more updates today than I have on previous days. I guess part of that is because I have been doing volunteer stuff, or I don't know. I've been having a really good time, but I think obviously today's been a lot more content driven, whereas the other days have been a mixture of both. Or maybe I just, weirdly enough, even though I've had more on today, maybe I've just had more capacity to film. Or maybe I'm misremembering and maybe I haven't actually filmed that much today. I don't really know. But as you can see from behind me, I am back in my hotel room. It is 5 to 11 now. So my plan, I'm pretty sure there's a panel, an online one, 11:30. So I'm going to see if I can hop on that and watch that, because it sounds really interesting. I think it's called something like Appropriation versus Appreciation. And yeah, I am intrigued to see what that's all about. I don't think, the children's literature panel that I went to earlier, it wasn't inherently bad, but it wasn't the panel I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I don't think there's been a bad panel that I've been to yet, and I've been to kind of a variety, because if I'm remembering correctly, the very first panel I went to was one on pseudoscience, and I don't think I would have necessarily picked that one, but I basically was like, do you need any helpers to do this particular role? And I was like, I don't have it in me to be able to go to a separate building, and this pseudoscience talk was in the same building, so I was like, yep, I'll go for that one. And it was really good, actually, which just shows you that, pick something you wouldn't necessarily go for and you can still have an absolute whale of a time. But yeah, there's something feels really lush about just kind of chilling now, even though it is almost 11. But I don't know, that high after you've been to an event? Yeah, it was like that. One of the things I really have to commend this Worldcon for, and I feel like it's probably a similar thing with other Worldcons, but I can only go on my own experience, is that this Worldcon has been doing the absolute most and the absolute best at dealing with accessibility things, because it's hard for me to realize that I do have accessibility needs, but the fact that I haven't felt like I had to prove myself or qualify anything is really therapeutic. And there's been areas where this conference has not quite met all the accessible needs that people had, but that's not for want of trying. Like, I have seen the staff and volunteers absolutely working their socks off, and it's been so good. Like, my personal experience has been that it's been really, really positive from an accessibility standpoint. Like, I wish there'd been more seating throughout the venue, but I do know that is something that they'd asked for and they were actively trying to improve on, but for various reasons they weren't able to provide more seating. And I am so sorry, I've just kind of rambled. But yeah, let's go find this panel and get on that. Well, I literally could not keep my eyes open last night. I did try watching the panel, but I wasn't focusing, so I think I switched it off after about an hour. It is on replay, so I can catch up on it at some point in the next 4 months, 3 months? 4 months. So it's not the end of the world and stuff. But yeah, I literally could not keep my eyes open last night. It was very bizarre. I don't know what it was about yesterday that exhausted me so much, but I was exhausted. And yeah, I was trying to look through the numbers for like voting and stuff for the Hugos, because they were released like as soon as the ceremony was over, but I just could not stay awake. So my plan right now, because I've got a little bit of time before things kick off this morning, is to have a cup of coffee and actually read through those numbers.
No, I'm not a saint. Is anybody these days? Oh, I've been alive. Wanted to think.
So I'm just walking around the dealer's hall and we've got AK Faulkner here. And I thought we could get them to tell you all about their series.
Yes. So Inheritance is our ongoing urban fantasy series. We are 10 books in so far. I'm very sorry. And it's about these two guys who live in San Diego and they have powers and they're both absolutely terrible at them. One of them's so terrible he doesn't even know he's got them. And a Celtic god arrives in their lives and would like something from them. They can't or won't give it to him. So if they're going to survive saying no to an increasingly angry god, they have to work together to learn to control their powers. And yes, I used to say I didn't make the rules, but I actually do. So as the series continues, we get quite a lot of trauma. Check for content warnings, please. We get more into the mythology, we meet more characters, and we expand the world, and they continue to improve. And yes. And that's basically it. There's quite a few books planned, but don't worry, I have told one of my beta readers what the end game is. So if I get hit by a bus, you're okay.
Thank you. And with that, my conference is over. I'm staying here for another night because I didn't know what time things were going to finish and I didn't want to be rushing about. Like, there's a million and one reasons why I am staying an extra night, so I'm not quite heading home just yet, but very, very soon. I can't remember if I've updated on what I've gotten up to today. I don't think so. So basically my day was attending 3 panels and doing that Voice of Online thing where I keep an eye on the Discord and ask questions for people. And then like strolling around the dealer's hall. As you saw, I had a chat with AK Faulkner and I ended up buying all 10 of their books, which I guess I should run through. In fact, I'll do that in a sec. Let me actually run through everything else first. So I have just realised that I tucked some things in some books. So let me just like grab those out and then we'll do a quick little haul. So I haven't been doing hauls for the random like odds and sods that I've picked up, but I figure I might as well show you the couple of odds and sods whilst I'm doing a haul, or at least the odds and sods from today. So we've got this bookmark, which is the 3 Andrew Joseph White books, and on the back it says for kids who sharpen their teeth and bite. And yeah, I've read Hell Followed With Us and The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, and I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to Compound Fracture. Like, I'll be honest, it's the one I'm probably least interested in, but I have faith in Andrew Joseph White's writing, so I'm pretty hyped to actually pick it up. And then we have some little postcards. So these are for A Dark and Drowning Tide, and they're just like the beautiful cover art for that book. So I picked up extras for my friend, which is why I've got like multiple. So we've got The Hunter's Gambit bookmarks, and on the back it says Malevolent Vampires and a Locked Room Escape Adventure. Need we say more? Well, I'm gonna say Queer and Polly, just to make you even more like desperate to pick it up. I was gonna grab a copy of The Hunter's Gambit from my friend, but when I went to the Angry Robot stall, they'd already left, so that was a shame. And apparently I accidentally picked up 3 of those bookmarks. So we've got I Want That Twink Obliterated bookmarks, and then the last sort of random bookmark I picked up was for this artist because I saw a couple of their pieces in the art show and I desperately wanted, but they were for auction, and the auction ended, like bidding for the auction ended yesterday, so I didn't know in time. And as I actually bought 2 bookmarks as well, so I bought these 2. So we've got like a Death and Valhalla one and a Yazdra, the life tree. So this one's for B and this one's for me. And my arm is aching and I've got to grab food in a sec. No, I've got a little bit more time. Okay, so books. Oh no, we've got a notebook before I move on to the books. So it's in the plastic, but hopefully you can see it. It is this beautiful notebook, and it's one of A.K. Faulkner's, and I picked it up for like a specific reason, which we'll get to in a sec. So, am I going to hold both of them up? I think I'm going to hold both of them up. I picked up 2 copies of The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, one for me, one for my best friend, because I loved it and I need a physical copy. And then I asked for a recommendation for a 3rd book because it was 3 books for a tenner. I picked up for my best friend as well. And then also for her, I grabbed the Evernight edition of Murder Row because it was only a tenner, which, brilliant. Oh my gosh, I don't do hauls very often, but when I do hauls, it's a lot. But also before today, I hadn't actually spent that much. And then I got a couple of gifts for B from the same store that I got like Norse bookmarks. And also I'd been meaning to get A.K. Faulkner's books for a bit. And because I hadn't really spent much in the way of money this conference, because like beyond getting myself food in the evening, mostly I've been getting the at conference currency of Groats for volunteering. So like the books I'd got up until this point had either been ARCs or I'd paid for with Groats. So I was like, you know what? I've wanted A.K. Faulkner's books for a while, £10 each, let's do it. Also, it's my birthday in 2 days, so it's like a birthday present to myself. So before we get onto, you should pick up all of A.K. Faulkner's books, but before we get onto that, we've got 2 more things. So we've got this, so it's for small creatures such as we, and Apothecaria, which are solo RPGs, and this one you journal as you go along. So basically all you need is this and a deck of cards, and it sounds really fun, and I've been wanting to get into RPGs, but like you have to find a group obviously to do it. But this is a solo RPG, and it's like witchy and stuff. And then this one is spacey, so I'm very excited about them. And yeah, let's just run through, and we'll just go through the titles of all of AK Faulkner's books. So we've got Haunted Hearts, Jack of Thorns. Are these all in order? I think they're all in order, which is very handy dandy. Night of Flames, Lord of Ravens, Reeve of Veils, Page of Tricks, Rites of Winter, Sigils of Spring, Spells of Summer, Runes of Fall, and Wheel of Fate. And these have all got absolutely stunning covers as well. Yay! I've got the whole set, and I'm gonna have to try and find a space on my shelves for these at some point. But that is, I think, it. I'm sure I'll be back right at the end. It may be when I get home. Basically, I'm not going to record my outro until I've edited this video. So I'll be back once more before the end of this video. But until then, see you then, I suppose. But thank you for watching this far. I hope it's been fun to watch. Back again, because I just realised that I forgot to mention what the notebook was all about. Basically, I picked it up because I thought it would pair really well with this solo RPG where you're journaling as you go along. I thought the two would pair really well. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I just forgot to say it.
I've never been one to pray. I hope for someone like you after the hurt and the heartbreak. You made me believe.
And that's the video. I have yapped an awful lot in this video, so I'm gonna try and be really brief. I'm gonna end by saying that I heard a really amusing anecdote. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to witness it in person, but it sounds amazing. A woman in a really great hat basically went up to Dave McCarty, the main guy that was involved in all of the Hugo's disqualification nonsense. Yeah, this woman in a really great hat went up to him and gave him a piece of her mind, and such choice lines like, "I hope you step on Lego every day" were used, and I just thought that was really amusing. But yeah, that's the video. I had a really great time at Worldcon. Obviously, it was peaks and valleys in terms of physical and mental health, but overall it was a really great experience. And I just want to thank you for watching this video and making it to the end. I love you, and see you next time.